My stepmother changed the locks on my childhood home the same night my dad died, so I let her spend from an account I already knew was frozen. I didn't warn her. I just watched. My dad remarried when I was 17. Denise came with 2 kids of her own and a very clear idea of where I ranked in the new family. Last. For 12 years, I kept the peace for my dad's sake. I showed up to holidays, smiled in photos, never made it weird. He died suddenly in March. Heart attack, no warning. I got the call from my stepbrother, not Denise. I drove 3 hours to the house I grew up in. When I got there, my key didn't work. Denise had changed the locks that afternoon, hours after the funeral home picked up his body. She met me on the porch, arms crossed. This isn't really the time to talk about the house. We're grieving. I hadn't said one word about the house. I just want to come in. I want to sit somewhere that was his. She said, maybe give it a few weeks. I sat in my car in that driveway for 20 minutes before I left. That's when my phone buzzed. An email from my dad's financial advisor, a man named Gerald who'd worked with him for 15 years. He wanted to meet, just me, not Denise. Turns out my dad had restructured his estate 8 months before he died. Right after a health scare Denise never mentioned to me. The house, the joint accounts, the ones Denise assumed she fully controlled. All of it was tied to a trust, and I was the sole trustee. Denise didn't know. My dad never told her, because in Gerald's words, he wasn't sure how she'd react, and he wanted it settled before he had to find out. The joint checking account she'd been swiping her card through all week, still active on paper, but already legally frozen from new withdrawals as of the trust filing. It just hadn't hit the bank system yet. I could have called her right then, told her to stop spending, told her it was about to lock her out mid-swipe in a grocery store line. I didn't. 4 days later, my stepbrother texted me a photo. Denise was standing at a Target register. Her card had been declined twice. She was holding up the line while arguing with the cashier. She called me that night furious. Something's wrong with the account. Did you do something? I said, I didn't do anything. I just didn't check it for you. Silence. Then quieter. You knew. I found out the day you changed my locks. Another long pause. The house is in your name now too, I said. Not just yours. Dad set it up so I'd have to sign off on anything involving it, including who lives there. She started crying. She said she panicked after the funeral, that changing the locks was about protecting the estate, not about me. I told her I understood panic. I also told her I now had 30 days by trust terms to decide whether she stayed in that house rent-free or not at all. I didn't kick her out. That's not who I wanted to be, even after everything. But I did have Gerald send over new terms. She could stay, but the deed reflects reality now, and every major decision about that house runs through me first. The same way, apparently, my dad always intended. Denise still isn't speaking to me much. My stepbrother, on the other hand, calls every week now. He says it's the first time anyone stood up to her in the 10 years he's known her. I never got to sit in my dad's chair the night he died, but 4 months later, I sat in it at his memorial dinner in the house that's legally half mine, and nobody changed the locks on me twice.